Okay, you're probably a center mid, you're obsessed with training, but you want to go even faster because you have bigger goals than the guys around you who just say, oh, maybe I'll go D2 or D3, or maybe I won't even play college soccer. You want to go further than them. You need to improve and you need to put in even more work, even more feedback, and improve at a better rate than them. So this is exactly how you can improve more in 3 months than you normally would in 3 years. I'm gonna walk you through some of the stuff that I give to the guys in my remote program because they all were probably pretty similar to you watching this video. They were the hardest worker on their team. They were very disciplined, again, very obsessed and ambitious with their soccer career. However, they knew they needed more, they needed to go faster, but they were just doing these cone drills on TikTok or like looking up the mental stuff on Instagram you see when Kobe Bryant's telling you to like work harder and dream bigger. And they were just doing like all the traditional things. And at the same time, they were worried like, okay, well, I really need to step it up because they knew that only maybe 1% of players even get to the college D1 level, whatever it may be. Less than that even end up starting, less than that end up even touching the field at any point during their career. So it's very difficult to get to that level. You're competing against ex-pros coming over from Europe. You're competing against guys in the transfer portal who've already proven themselves that they can play at that level. And then you're trying to walk in there as a 17-year-old or 18-year-old expecting to just run the place. It's not true. Here's how to make sure you are prepared and how you can improve more in 3 months than you normally would in 3 years. This is what's working for the guys that I work with across the country. And again, I played 4 years of Division I soccer at Winthrop University, and then I played 2 years at Winthrop University, 2 years at College of Charleston, where I was a captain there, and I finished my career with over 5,000 minutes. So I'm sharing you some of the secrets, some of the things that I learned at that level to make sure you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Okay, because that top 1%, it's real, it's difficult. Here's what you can do to prepare. So the plan, right? We'll break it down into, I got some notes here, 4 different parts to make sure you're moving along as fast as you need to. So first thing is the development plan itself. Okay, this is the first step. So a lot of guys, they go out there and maybe they plan out one day. They say, oh, I'm gonna work on my finishing tomorrow. Very few guys plan out more than one day. Even less guys plan out a week, less guys a month, less guys 3 months because they don't have a roadmap. They're just driving blind with no GPS and their gas is just gonna run out. All right, that's the best way to put that. So most important thing is to find a 12-week plan. This is usually like the blocks that we go in within my program. And how you're gonna separate this is 1, technical pathway, and 2, the game moment pathway. This is exactly how we do it inside the program. Okay, so for the technical pathway, this is stuff like first touch, turning, passing, dribbling, stuff like that. Game moment pathway is stuff like positioning, like tendencies. Like a lot of guys have this tendency to be a team player when all that is them just playing backwards and playing safe and not actually making impacts. And that's why you're not getting the recognition that you think you deserve, because players or coaches don't even see you doing anything good, right? They just see a role player. Okay, that was me. I'm speaking to old me. So the game moment pathway, your positioning, your tendencies, maybe stuff just like your general decision making. Okay, like maybe you're holding onto the ball too long in moments that you shouldn't be. Maybe you're not holding onto the ball enough. There's certain ways to do that. So you break it down in those 2 pathways, right? So we would, like inside the program, we'd go through like your film, make sure we have a good plan, which you can, either way, you need to make sure that you are clear on your highest leverage, like highest priority moments for you. You can get feedback, hopefully from a coach that actually pays attention to you. Hopefully your team coach isn't one of the guys that just manages like 5 or 6 teams and has 30 guys, and he doesn't actually have time to even know who you are as a player. He just uses you as an asset, which, fair enough, he gets paid to win games. So there's only so much you can expect from your team coach. But you need to make sure you are clear on these next 3 months exactly what needs to happen, because we do this, and I'll break down later how we can use like a top-down training approach to actually funnel these into the right stuff. But before that, we'll go into this. So the second step, plan ahead. I touched on this earlier. Most guys plan maybe 1 day, maybe 2 days. Most guys never touch a week or even 3 months for sure. And that's why most guys never play in college. So what we do inside the program is we go 4 weeks at a time, right? And what we do, if we have like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like we start off, I'll go like this. Hopefully this is pretty easy to see. So what we do is we start off with like their known events. So we know on week 1, they have a game. Week 3, they have a game on Saturday. And then they also have games on Thursday. Most guys are like in season and they're pretty busy. And then they know like we have off. We need like a rest day each week, obviously. And then maybe like they have team training, something like that, right? So you can see we plan out this schedule and we go like all 4 weeks and we make sure we know exactly what's going on for the next month. So this is what you need to do. You need to make sure you know, you need to build around like the games, build around like the travel, the tournaments, build around your family events where you know you're out of town. And then you decide like, okay, well on this day, so like say on this day, if we like carry down everything, well, before my session, I'm gonna have time to do 15 minutes of like we'll call it like day A, like one of the training plans like that you make sure you have set out for yourself. Okay, cool. Tuesday, I'm usually busy, like I'm traveling or like I gotta drive a long way to practice, so I'm not gonna do anything extra. I'm just gonna do team training. Wednesday, I'm gonna stay after and do day C because I don't have access to a goal after team training. So we're gonna do like modify, make sure we're doing day C, which doesn't work. Like I'm doing usually these like hypothetical. Obviously, I don't know who you are as a player. We would like they would have their program, and like they know what day A means. So bear with me. Like I don't really know exactly your schedule. I hope you forgive me for that. But pretty much like by starting with your known events, now we can plan out all of these days throughout all 4 weeks. And now we're not showing up on Sunday before going in the next week like, oh shoot, like I'm not gonna have time to train, like I didn't plan ahead enough, or I have homework and I shouldn't have procrastinated, but you didn't know because you didn't know this event was coming up because you didn't plan it out, right? You see where you can get into this reactive cycle. Like the elite guys are not reactive. They might not know every single part of their day for the next 4 weeks, but they do have a general, like what we do is like have like an average week, like an ideal week, where we can generally point out what a week usually looks like and make sure we're still able to get the work in, okay? So you start with the known events, and then once you have this planned out, you have no excuses to not do the work. You have no excuses to go a whole season and be like, oh, well, I didn't have time to train, because you did. You just didn't plan it properly. You didn't have a structured training plan, development plan for you, okay? You can't use that excuse. So if you want to continue to use that excuse and make yourself feel better, like on why you didn't have the breakout season you wanted, or like why you're going into the next season still not even like starting on varsity or being on the first team at your club. If you want to continue to use that excuse, that's cool. Probably not the player that I will be able to work with. Hopefully you can steal something from me, or you can look up some free cone drills online. But if you're that type of player, use that excuse. If you don't want to use that excuse and you have to plan it out in that way, like it's logical, like you know exactly what needs to happen for you to achieve your goals. So that's the second part, to plan ahead. Hopefully you're not still watching this if you are just the player that wants like the easy cheat way to like steal a D1 offer. That's not what we do here. Third part, do the proper training. This one's pretty important. Spell training. This one's pretty important, right? You gotta actually train the right way. So what we do inside the program is we use a top-down training approach. So we decide based on these things. So like if we're back here, like the first touch, the turning, the passing, dribbling, positioning, tendencies, decision making, all of these things, we funnel that down into like weeks 1, weeks 2, weeks 3, weeks 4, and that would be like block 1, and then same thing for weeks 5 through weeks 8, and then block 3 would be week 9 through weeks 12. right? So we're doing all these things, so we're able to pick exactly what needs to happen based on your schedule, like what is like the main focus, like the main technical and game moment focuses for each of these weeks, each of these training sessions. So you do that, and that way you're not just reacting. That way you're not just showing up on a Tuesday and you're like, okay, I should really get some extra work, and you have no idea what to do. So what do you usually do? This is what I used to do. Is I'd be like, okay, I don't know what to do, and there's like people all over the fields, like I don't want to look weird, like trying to figure out a drill. I'm just gonna do the same stuff I've been doing for the past 3 months. What's gonna happen? I'm gonna get the same results. If you do the same stuff and you expect different results, then you're just going insane. Hopefully that's a wake-up call, okay? Second part of doing the proper training, repeat. Or anything like I was, you would think that every single day you had to come up with a new training session, a new idea, and you had to have all these things going on and working on different things. How do you get better at bench pressing? You bench press. How do you get better at taking PKs? You take PKs. So how do you think you become a better CDM, a better attacking mid, whatever it is? Well, you do, and you repeat the things that those positions require based off of what we decide is most important for you, okay? And you repeat. Again, like repeat reinforces. So as long as you have good training habits, then you can repeat. A lot of guys don't have good training habits, so by repeating, they're just doing the wrong technique, the wrong intensity, and the wrong drills overall. That's not really getting them better. They're just getting better at the wrong stuff, if that makes sense. So you want to repeat the right stuff, obviously, and you don't want to just jump around. Fourth part, and this is what like we have like 1, 2, and 3, but they don't really come together until you have the fourth part. And the fourth part is just feedback. Okay, you need to be getting feedback from somebody so that you can, what you do in the program is like they take videos of their training sessions. That way they can look back on themselves. Also, they can see the progress that they're making. Like when we start working in week 1 versus like week 8, they're able to see that progress. But they're also able to, yeah, like I said, they're able to look back, see, because usually you're a lot different if you experience this. Like you play a game, then you watch the game film back, and you're like, oh, that didn't really look as good as I thought it was. Maybe you're like, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Okay, so when you look back on your film or like the clips that you take, you prop your phone up and do the drill that's meant for you, you're gonna kind of have these like realizations of like, okay, maybe I can tweak this, I can do this better, stuff like that. So there's one thing, yeah, you can take videos. Most importantly though, most importantly, you're asking for feedback. Okay, I mentioned it earlier, like you don't want to just ask maybe like a team coach or an in-person coach that only gets to see you like 1 or 2 hours a week and has more than like 25 different players on different teams to manage. You want to ask someone that actually knows who you are. You need to be getting feedback. You need to be getting feedback. If you want to go D1, don't listen to someone that hasn't been D1. If you want to be a pro, don't listen to guys that don't know what it's like to work at that level, right? And play at that level. Okay, so you got to ask for feedback. You got to be ready for that. If you want to, put all 4 of these steps together and make sure that you, again, improve faster in 3 months than you normally would in 3 years, and you want to take that feedback so we can hit this last 4th step and combine everything together, you can apply to work with me one-on-one. I run a completely remote program. It's working for center mids across the country. If you're just looking for like the free like cheat code or like the free cone drills that ChatGPT could probably spit out for you, it's not for you, and I won't let you in the community because those guys are really obsessed about their college soccer goals. Just click off if you're not that type of player. But if you are a center mid, you're training a lot, you just want that work rate to go in the right direction, and you want to improve faster in 3 months than you would normally in 3 years, you can apply. It's the first link in the description. It'll take you. You'll see a video explaining the program, and you'll see a button right below that where you can apply to work one-on-one with me. I'll reach out to you after you input that info, and then we can see if it would be a good fit for us to work together, for you to join the program, and for us to put everything together for you as a player.